Welcome to Brave with Lisa YouTube channel. My name is Lisa Bruton and my goal is to inspire you to live bravely in that unique rhythm of grace that God has designed just for you. On this channel, we are going to be hearing from amazing people from all different walks of life who are bravely walking in that unique rhythm of grace and calling that God has designed just for them. I know that as we hear their stories, we are going to learn a lot. We're going to find keys that are going to help us to also walk bravely in that unique rhythm of grace and that unique calling that God has just for you and for me. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to Brave with Lisa. My name is Lisa Bruton, and today I have my gorgeous and fun friend, Mel Mensel. Now, Mel is someone who just drops these truth bombs, but it's always got this gorgeous joy wrapped around it. And so I'm so excited to learn from her more today and to hear more of your story. So welcome, Mel.
Thanks, Lisa. Thank you so much. Just an honour and a privilege to chat with you with Brave with Lisa. So yeah, let's go.
I love it. Hey, Mel, can you tell us what's going on in your world right now? Because there's been a lot of change.
Yeah, there has been. So my husband and I moved to Yeppoon, a beautiful region, and we've been here 7 months. So when we shifted from the Sunshine Coast to Yeppoon, September last year, it hasn't been easy with any change. It's not easy, but now we're starting to get into our momentum. And actually see things why we're here in this beautiful region, Yeppoon.
Okay, Mel, I need to ask, can you give us the behind story? Because it's pretty cool how you ended up in Yeppoon, and it was surprising.
Yes, it was. Very surprising. So one Saturday afternoon, I got a text message from a girlfriend of mine saying, "Hey Mel, do you want to go for a hike with me Sunday morning?" And I was like, "Awesome, yep." I just sensed in my heart, no, I'm going to go for a hike with this beautiful girl. And so I did. And so we're climbing up the mountain and she goes, "Oh, Mel, while we're here, can I ask you a favour? Can you drop a car up to Airlie Beach for us? And just because we need a second car with our kids and stuff like that, rather than keep hiring a car." And I said, "Oh yeah, sure, Mark and I are free. So yeah, let's go." So we took their yellow Suzuki up to Airlie Beach, and on the way there, we stopped into Yeppoon, and we caught up with a guy called Will, who we'd met previously a few months ago, and just caught up with him. And then we headed up to Airlie, landed in Airlie, and we were just hanging out with them for a few days. And due to the lockdowns and everything like that, our flights got changed. And so we're like, okay, well, how are we going to get home? So they offered us to stay an extra night with them, but I just sensed in my heart, we need to go somewhere just for a night. I don't know where it is. So at midnight on the third night, I said to my husband, "We've got to book somewhere." Anyway, he's Googling, Daydream, there's a night on Daydream, let's go. So we ended up getting a boat transfer over to Daydream, and that night I had such a vivid dream, one of those dreams where you wake up and you think, "Oh my goodness, has this happened?" So I had a dream where our house on the Sunshine Coast, real estate agent came in and went, bang, house for sale, sold. And so that was my dream. And I got up and I said to Mark, "The Lord wants us to sell our house." And literally within seconds, Mark's like, "Rightio." I'm like, okay. And so it's not like my husband either, because for him to say something like that, he's very analytical, and I love analytical, but he likes to think things through, where I'm just like, boom, crash, let's go. And so so when I told him that, then we spent that day just on Daydream Island searching for land, and we sensed when we were praying, we're like, it's not Airlie, but when we said Yeppoon, we're like, it kept leaping out at our heart, like, it's Yeppoon. And so long story short, my husband found a block of land that afternoon, rang the real estate agent in Yeppoon, made an offer on that block of land. Then the next day got a phone call, said, sold, it's yours. So I said, rightio, we've got a block of land. So we fly home back to the sunny coast, and within 2 days, our house is on the market. And then I started to get a bit like, honestly, the truth is I got anxious going, what have we done? Bought a block of land, a house is on the market, what's going on? I said to my husband, I think we've got to get in the car and drive up and just see what we've done. So we did. And honestly, I can't actually put into words like what God has done. And then we drove back, and our house was sold within 4 days. And then it was just literally boom, 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 like after one another. And I've heard people talk about when you see God move suddenly, he moves suddenly. It's like the suddenlies. And I'd be like listening to like sermons and stuff and going, oh yeah, didn't make sense to me. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. I'm glad God works that for you. I'm just and so this is when God became real in this situation. It was like, wow, God, when you say go, it's all on like Donkey Kong. Like it's just boom, 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 boom. And so, yeah, and that's hence fast forward we're here in Yeppoon. And then once we're here, we've landed, it's like it was on like a pause and a stop. And it's such a weird thing processing when God just does everything so quickly. And then you landed in a region which you do not know. And you're like, so is things going to move any, like, are we going to have any like signs or different things while we're here? But honestly, the last 7 months, I have learned, and my husband has learned in different ways, because we're both different in how we think in different ways, is, are you okay to wait? And waiting is not, it's not easy. And however long that wait will be, he sort of doesn't give you a time frame or when he's like, okay, now's the time to go or do this or that. So it has been a season of waiting. Yeah, and with that comes, you know, it's not all rosy. It's not like you go, yeah, it's fine, I'm happy to wait, no problems, you know, like, yeah, it's been 7 months now, so when is some traction going to happen? And I think, honestly, through the wait, he's just wanted our hearts, my heart, and letting go of what was, and what I had known, to coming to a place where I was like, okay, Lord, I believe, but as that wait continues being here, my unbelief has crept in. And it was only recently that I was walking along the beach, because I just love the ocean side. He's like, Melanie, I need you to believe again. And I was like, what do you mean? I need you to believe, because your unbelief is getting in the way. And I was like, yeesh. And I'm like, well, then please teach me again how to believe, because obviously I need to grow and stretch and be teachable in this, because somehow my heart has lost that bit of traction of believing what you promised me in different ways. So yeah, that's been a journey in this period of moving here. He's with me while I wait.
Yeah. And I know, and it must be so hard to because there was a lot of different rhythms within that. So, you know, you had your life on the Sunshine Coast and that had a rhythm, and all of a sudden God was like, and move, and you guys just went, oh, okay. And it was like boom, 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 really fast pace. And you're almost like, it's quite fun being in that fast pace too, and like, all right, God, let's go. Like, what are you going to do? And so then when it halts, and actually your spirit, like what I find is when God does that, like your spirit's all for it, but actually your heart and your head haven't had a chance to process. So there's almost like there's this lull where your heart and your head catches up, and there's like a grieving process of what you've just said goodbye to. And I know you went through that too, didn't you, Mel?
Yeah. So like, I think too, I'm learning about God loves our God dreams, and God loves, us dreaming and writing things down, and he just loves that about us. He gave us an imagination for a reason. And so, and I think to the last 2 years, my dance studio, I dreamed for years to have. My husband built, renovated our garage, and a studio was built, and it was the most precious 7 months that it was just like I was living. It was real, but I felt like I was living the dream come true. And then to actually fold that up, it was like a pop-up, fold that studio up, and then move here and find a rhythm, like you said before, and a groove again. Hasn't been easy, but I've learned. It's like a funny thing. It's like I've had to learn back his heart in putting different shoes on for different places and different spaces. To actually, he just wants me and my in a room when no one's watching. And that's where the gold and the intimacy comes from, when I've just bawled my eyes out because I couldn't understand, or I'm just going, why God, why this, why that? And he's not answering. But there's a moment where you dance with him while no one's watching, and it can be whatever you desire. And it's not perfect. Like sometimes I'm just dancing and having fun in my own bedroom, and it's something that just clicks the switch, and you just walk out your bedroom different than you like went in. So it hasn't been, I found with the house that we're living in, like space to move and groove my feet hasn't been the easiest, but I've had to move forward in my thinking, that when you're just moving, doesn't matter where you are, it actually breaks things with it's in your heart, in your mind, and it just breaks anything that you've been thinking that's not truth. He actually goes, wow, and then joy starts to come back, and all the stinking thinking that you think about falls away. Like, for example, just being real, I don't know if I need my dance shoes anymore. I don't think I'm good enough. I'm not worthy enough for this. I don't care. Like, why am I even doing this, God? Like, honestly, maybe it's done. Dust, dust, dust. See you later. Who am I? Like, it's all these silly things that aren't truth. But he whispers again afresh and says, I made you for so much more. I love that you love to put your connies on. I love when I see your laces get tied up. I love when you don't have your shoes on and you're just dancing on the sand and just having fun at the beach. It's different things. Like, it doesn't have to have shoes on. He just loves that I move with him because he put it in me.
Yeah.
And the moment that I stop doing that, it's like, I don't know, you lose who you're created to be. And you feel it. You're like, okay, I'm not a chef. I don't find creative doing a chef, but when I miss moving and grooving just the way that I do, I don't know, you miss a heart of who you are and who you're meant to be.
And so have you found that there's been times in your life where you just haven't been able to dance or move?
Yeah. So about 2016, I was basically, I had a breakdown, and just caused me, my health, like, and my physical being, just not to do anything. So I actually was in bed for 3 months, and at that time, especially when I am such a doer, it was so hard not to move. Like, honestly, the best days that I would have a warm shower and have something to eat. That was my winning days. And so I think, honestly, I went through this process of finding out who's who in the zoo when no one's looking at you. But God became real to me in those moments of showing me that to just be, you're a human being, and whether you dance for me or you don't, I actually just want your heart. And I remember lying in bed one day and I just was like, my heart was just like, Lord, just teach me how to live out the greatest commandment. Like, I actually have no idea how to do this. Like, I don't even know how to apply it, like, you know. And I was just being real to the Lord. I'm like, Lord, love the Lord your God. And I was just marinating it, like, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your heart. And I was just going through the greatest commandment, with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your strength, and then love your neighbor as yourself. And I just was like, teach me how to do that. And it was like through that moment, it's been a process, and I'm still learning that, how to live it out and know it more, because there's always more to know about it. But he taught me through that time of not being well, not being like, you know, through that time I didn't even know really how to pray or how to talk to him, because I was pretty messy good, I like to call it. And they're the moments where I think sometimes you feel like you're forgotten, or you feel like, well, am I ever going to get better? Or is my anxiety ever going to go away? I didn't ask for this anxiety. I didn't ask for panic attacks. And it's like this process. And it was that deep intimacy that I longed for within my heart, was to know him and be known by him. And he would speak to me in different ways, because I love nature. I love, you know, God speaks to different people in different ways. And for me, because I was pretty alone by myself at that time, because my husband was working back and forth. And I just remember I didn't have the strength to read my Bible or listen to worship music or go to church or do anything like that. And I just remember, I'm like, just show me a sign that you love me. I'm like, please, like. And so there's this pigeon that comes. It stayed around for 6 months actually in our bedroom. And Lisa, honestly, that pigeon just brought so much hope back into my heart and my entire being. And he taught me through that, like, because I love to be, the old Mel used to love to be a perfectionist, organized, everything tidy, you know, that sort of thing. And even in my choreography, it was like, would do my head in if things weren't done right. Like if a move wasn't done correctly, I'd beat myself up because it wasn't good enough, you know what I mean? And so through this pigeon, he taught me, and I'd get frustrated in bed. I'd be like, why is it pooping all over the deck? It's disgusting. I'd handle it, to the point where my husband's like, well, maybe we should actually put something out to, like, see you later, bird, you know, like. And I was like, can't do that. And through that bird over time, it was like a lesson God was trying to teach me. Is like, Mel, see that pigeon? It's loyal. It's messy. It's poopy. It makes mistakes, and it dances. So this pigeon would look at itself in the mirror, and it would like do its cooing thing, and just its tail start, you know, going, oh yeah, I'm good looking, check me out. Ooh, check my move. And it would bounce up and down doing its grooves. And I actually Googled it one day and go, why are pigeons so special? And they actually dance a rhythm to their own beat, thinking there's another mate there in front of them going, hey, out. And that was like God saying, Mel, that's me and you. Like, I'm here. I'm your reflection. It's okay when no one's watching. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay, you know, not to do everything, cross the A's to the Z's. It's, I know you and I made you, and let's walk this together with my hand in your hand, and because that's my love for you. And so over a period of time, I started to get my strength back, spiritually, mentally, and physically. And he's so gentle, he's so kind through it all. But as I progressed through life, from that 7-year process, he taught me a new way of thinking. He transformed me, transformed my heart and my mind, to dance with him in a different way that when I was taught how to dance or how to do things in life. So, yeah, and it has brought me so much joy in letting go of trying to be perfect, and because I'm not, but he makes me perfect, and it's having the joy and the play in it with him, because he's always cheering you on. He's always cheering you on. He never tells you otherwise, that you can't do it. He's always, come on kid, let's do this, you got this, we've got this together. And yeah, I think that having that reverence of knowing I can't do it without it, because I used to have that perspective, like, I got this, I can do this, I can do everything, I'm fantastic, oh yep, I can do this, I can work hard, but at the end of the day, when something gives way and you realize, well, actually I can't do a thing on my own without him, that's when you really know, hey, you created me for this. And it's not just for dance, it's not just, anything like that. It's actually, it's really the heart core of him delivering me from different things that my heart was crying out for, was to know him and to know his love for me. That was the deep call and the deep cry. And everything else is a bonus that you get to do with him. So.
Wow, Mel, there was some amazing layers there. One in particular that stood out, actually quite a few, but I love that God spoke to that perfectionist. Yeah, because I meet with many women and a lot of them struggle with that perfectionism, and because they're wanting to please God, they're wanting to do things for God, but then it shifts from like doing it with him to striving and then feeling like they're not doing enough, so they do more, and it can become heavy, and it is no longer fun to be a Christian. And actually we're meant to have fun with him. He's designed us so uniquely and creatively, and so and I love that he used something so out of the box like a pigeon to speak to you, and that over, would you say 6 months he was there, that pigeon came, and you would get revelation after revelation from this pigeon, which just makes me think actually God's speaking to us in so many different ways, and are we noticing it? Are we noticing that obscure thing that he keeps trying to bring across our path, because there's layers of wisdom within that. So there was just so much in that from your story, Mel. It was incredible, and I love, and thank you for sharing.
Yeah, well, thanks. Thank you.
Mel, I know that I'm sure people would love to connect with you in some way. Is there a way that they can find you in a non-stalkerish way?
Yeah. So there is a Relentless 179, which was birthed 5 years ago. And so on that Instagram page, Facebook page, and even on the website on there, you'll see what I love to do. And we create stories through movement. So you can either send me a message by email or contact me directly through any social media page. I'd either love to chat with you or, get to know you. Actually, I love people. So to know people is why I do what I do.
And it's true, she does love people really well. You walk away feeling very loved whenever you spend time with Mel.
Thanks, Lisa.
Well, friend, thank you for your time. And do reach out to Mel if this is, or just follow Relentless, because it's incredible. And I am very excited for what's to come, Mel, for you and your husband and Yeppoon.
Yep, yippee skippy, Yeppoon. I love
it. Thank you, my friend. Hey?
It's a real joy to be here.
Oh, love you. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks, Lisa. Bye.
Thanks for joining me on Brave with Lisa. I hope that it has inspired or impacted you in a small or large way. Feel free to comment, to subscribe, and share with some friends. And please join us next week on another conversation we will have here on this channel on Brave with Lisa.